to provide indoor and outdoor carts and kiosks for any application. From large, heated and secure outdoor retail or food kiosks to smaller, more mobile coffee kiosks or coffee stations, coffee carts, CartKing.com designs and builds them all. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on the website, CartKing.com. Please visit today at CartKing.com or just call them at 877-986-7771. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you and you get a good deal. Remember, all these shows on Awake are brought to you by EmailRevealer.com. You can go to emailrevealer.com and get a copy of my book, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. You also do all the kind of different services for you. Online dating service investigations called an online infidelity investigation. And that's where you give us your husband or your boyfriend, your girlfriend's email address, and we trace it back to their online dating websites, and we return a list of all the dating sites that email is registered to. We can expand on that investigation and trace it back to porn sites, escort service sites, swinger sites, gambling websites, and even prescription drug websites, and all kinds of digital forensics, computer and cell phone digital forensics, where we can recover deleted content from an email or a hard drive and produce a report for you that you can use in court. That's emailrevealer.com, or you can contact me at oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com. The Opperman Report is brought to you by SubhashTechnosis.com. Subash Technosis is a search engine optimization and website design company. They're located in India, so you know you're going to save a lot of money and get top quality service. They offer all sorts of business process outsourcing, data entry, banking BPO services, recruitment process outsourcing, software testing, offshoring, research network, customer care, press release, content writing and distribution, and much, much more. Now, you can get a hold of Subash Technosis by email at info@subashtechnosis.com. Their website is www.subashtechnosis.com, and their Skype is ANUSHASUBASH. Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. We're here today with Mark Shaw, markshawbooks.com, talking about denial of justice, about the Dorothy Kilgallen story. And you can go to dorothykilgallenstory.org. There's a lot of content on there if you want to meet Mark Shaw in person. Commonwealth Club in San Francisco on December 9th. Now, Mark, back to this Pataki guy. Mm-hmm. There was some other things, too, about some poetry that he used to write some creepy poetry.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You know, the book is set up as a true crime murder mystery, so people can make up their own mind about things. But the detective always looks at what? Motive, means, opportunity, and benefit from the crime. We know that that's what they'll go through. Well, when you look at Pataki, it's pretty clear that each of those elements fits with him. But the one that is really alarming is this one poem that he wrote, and it was called Vodka Roulette Seen as a Relief Possibility. And here's what he wrote: While I'm spilling my guts, she is driving me nuts. Please fetch us 2 drinks on the run. Just skip all the noise and make one of them poison, and don't even tell me which one. Well, Ed, that pretty much describes exactly how Dorothy died. And only the killer or somebody who knew the killer would have that information, because it was never exposed in any book, in any place at all, until I found, I found this poem by him and put it in the first book. So he had to have had inside information about this. Now, whether he's the guy who poisoned the drink or whatever, and it's got a little cartoon, people will see it in the new book, cartoon of a bartender, and the bartender is pouring liquid into a couple of the glasses, mugs or whatever they may be. So, again, you're a private investigator and I'm an investigative reporter. Well, this is some of the strongest evidence you could possibly have, because it's an admission. Now, he says this was just humorous, that he was just playing around and all this, but he absolutely admitted to one of his family members that I quote in Denial of Justice that this poem was about Dorothy.
Wow. Just incredible.
Strong, evidence.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, when's the last time you or your staff has talked to Pataki?
I interviewed him again this spring, I believe it was, and but we then emailed after that. The admissions about his having a violent childhood kind of came out of the blue. I had told him about the fact that I'd found these family members who weren't saying very nice things about him, and he didn't comment on that, but he sent me this email, which I quote in the new book, basically saying that he had been the kind of the victim of a violent childhood. I don't know why he decided to let me have that information, but I did, and I've told him the new book's coming out, and it's in there, and all of that. So I have a feeling he wants to confess this. I have a feeling that he'd like to get this off his chest, but I don't know that anything like that's going to happen unless the DA sends an investigator out there to talk to him and gets him in a room and says, "Hey, Ron, come on, tell us what happened." Then I think he would.
Now, is he confrontational with you?
No. Although there's some of the emails, I guess you'd call it confrontational. One of the last times we talked, he said he kind of shouted in the email in capital letters, "You don't know the truth. I only know the truth." That kind of thing.
Right.
And his voice would. The level would increase when I was interviewing a couple times. This is all foolish. Nobody would think this poem is about Dorothy, and so on and so forth. Which, of course, as you know, you've interviewed a lot of people. That's pretty much an admission that whatever you're saying to them is really getting down to things that they don't want to talk about.
The whole story is just so incredible and so overlooked. Dorothy Kilgallen is so overlooked in all of this. But we're out of time. We're out of time. What do you want to leave us?
Just think about the Jack Ruby trial transcripts, all right? They've been hiding in plain sight for 50 years. I ended up with them. But how could that have happened, right?
Yeah, that's another thing, too. And there was no way to get them, like, through Freedom of Information Act before this? No?
People could have found them on the Internet. They just nobody ever did that. And all these people who continue to proclaim the Oswald alone theory, they don't want anybody to know about that because it just blasts away that Oswald alone theory. Wait till you read the actual testimony. It's mind-boggling. It really is.
And how much of it do you have in the book?
I have about 25 excerpts in the book, so people will be able to look at the actual page and read the testimony themselves, and then I kind of analyze that in terms of what Dorothy knew at that time. Okay, I love that kind of stuff. And what do you want to leave us with? We've only got a couple of minutes. Well, I just hope, again, that, I can get Dorothy the justice she deserves. She's obviously gotten an awful lot of respect and admiration, but everybody wants to know what happened to her, and I think the New York District Attorney knows what happened on that day she died, and so I'm hoping that they'll come clean and they'll come out and say, listen, we made a mistake with the investigation last year. Let's reinvestigate this, convene a grand jury, and let them look into Dorothy's death. Thank you so much, Mark Shaw. And I'm going to send you that interview with the Thomas Merton show because it's I just remembered it's a good show. The guy was a really good storyteller. I just kind of sat back and listened the whole time, so it's a really, really good show. Thank you. MarkShawBooks.com. Denial of Justice is the latest book, not even out yet. It's going to be out tomorrow. DorothyKilgallenStory.org. You want to meet him in person, shake his hand, get an autograph, buy him a drink, right? But watch them pour the drink. Okay, yeah, Mark. I'm very careful of that now. Thank you. Watch them pour the drink, Mark. A Commonwealth Club, San Francisco, December 4th. Mark Shaw, thank you so much, okay? Hey, thank you, Ed. You're a good man. Thank you. Good night. Okay, so there we had Mark Shaw. One of my favorite guests. I got to tell you, man, I really like this guy. He's been on 3 times now. Always comes prepared with a good content. He's doing the work. He's doing the investigations out there, and he's writing the books. Exclusive stuff, almost always, too, that you don't hear anywhere else. MarkShawBooks.com, Denial of Justice, DorothyKilgallenStory.org. Meet him at the Commonwealth Club, okay? Great stuff. Thank you so much, Mark Shaw. Now, listen, guys, if you like these shows... And look at this, I got this guy, the book's not even out yet. This is the first interview he's doing on this book.
You know, man, who's doing this for you guys? You know, man, I'm so beat up over here. And Mark's show is like being like my therapist before the show because I'm complaining about how miserable I am doing the show. I'm so broke, and I'm putting in so many hours, and there's no support. We're getting no support. The bills have never been higher. We just had to drop KYAH, one of our AM station. We just had to drop. I'm dropping Awake Radio. We're gonna have to close down Awake Radio and not have that platform anymore. And if we continue down this spiral, we won't be able to get the kind of guests like Mark Shaw. They won't be coming to us. I just interviewed earlier today Christopher. What's his name? Christopher Fulton. Again, they come to me before the books are even out yet now. Because they want to get on the show, because they know the audience buys books, and they know that I'm not an idiot. I know how to ask questions. I'm not crazy like some of these people out there, but I need support, guys. You go to OppermanReport.com and you become a member. You get access to the member section. There's all kinds of exclusive documents and a commentary section we just added where I do commentaries on different shows. There's exclusive interviews you can't find anywhere else. They're locked in there behind a paywall. You can't get them otherwise. Court docs, all kinds of stuff in there. OppermanReport.com. You become a member. You support the show. You'll feel good about yourself. You're supporting the show. Now, if you're already a member, but you're saying, hey, well, my goodness, the show's going under. I can't float this thing at all. You can make a donation. You make a donation. Go to OppermanReport.com. There's a little donate button there. If you want a discount with the membership, you can contact me at OppermanReport@gmail.com, and I'll send you a PayPal link, and you can get 13 months for $65, okay? Also, too, if you want to advertise on the show, this show sells books, trust me, okay? And we can fill movie theaters, that kind of stuff. And when I did I was plugging I did that little movie, I was in that documentary, the John Potash, Drugs as Weapons Against Us. And I plugged that, man, everyone in there, listen to the show. They're all listeners to the show. So, we can publicize events. You got a product, a website you want to promote. Worldwide, we got listeners all over the world at OppermanReport.com. So shoot me an email, OppermanReport@gmail.com, and I'll hook you up the best I can. Let's play some messages here. Good night.
And now a word from our sponsors. Check out CartKing.com, 877-986-7771. Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Perhaps your current business wants to add multiple point-of-sale locations across the country quickly. Maybe the facility you manage could kickstart revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services, like let's say you own an office building or a warehouse. Put one of these carts there in the lobby. Well, CartKing.com can be the answer to your needs. CartKing.com is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile retail coffee and food carts and kiosks money can buy. For 20 years, CartKing.com has been working with clients and corporations across America to provide indoor and outdoor carts and kiosks for any application. From large, heated, and secure outdoor retail or food kiosks to smaller, more mobile coffee kiosks or coffee stations, coffee carts, CartKing.com designs and builds them all. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on the website, CartKing.com. Please visit today at CartKing.com or just call them at 877-986-7771. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you and you get a good deal. Remember, all these shows on Awake are brought to you by EmailRevealer.com. You can go to EmailRevealer.com and get a copy of my book, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. You also do all the kind of different services for you. Online dating service investigations called an online infidelity investigation. And that's where you give us your husband or your boyfriend, your girlfriend's email address, and we trace it back to their online dating websites, and we return a list of all the dating sites that email is registered to. We can expand on that investigation and trace it back to porn sites, escort service sites, swinger sites, gambling websites, and even prescription drug websites, and all kinds of digital forensics, computer and cell phone digital forensics, where we can recover deleted content from an email or a hard drive and produce a report for you that you can use in court. That's EmailRevealer.com, or you can contact me at OppermanInvestigations@gmail.com. The Opperman Report is brought to you by SubhashTechnosis.com. Subash Technosis is a search engine optimization and website design company. They're located in India. So you know you're going to save a lot of money and get top quality service. They offer all sorts of business process outsourcing, data entry, banking BPO services, recruitment process outsourcing, software testing, offshoring, research